Capitalism has failed. Coronavirus, strong men, rising fascism, climate crisis, planet becoming extinct. We are in the last act of capitalism. It's like a global mafiosa that is running the world now. It is not only political institutions that are disintegrating, but also the societies. The extreme polarization dehumanized many people all around the world. And these strong guys are talking to each other behind closed doors, making decisions for the destiny of our kind. Capitalism did not only ruin equality, justice, but also it damaged basic moral values of humankind. It started with the motto of Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan, "There is no alternative." It was a command for the globe not to think anymore. Without even knowing, many of us submitted to that motto to make us think that we cannot do any better than this. This is the natural state of humankind. Capitalism is not the natural state of humankind, and it is not the best we can do. The insanity we are going through are not the consequences of the collapse of the system. The insanity is inherent in this system. We are not collapsing as a humankind. It is only a system that is collapsing. And it's not very old. It's a new system, and we can do better than this, and we can find a new system. There are many times in today's world there is no hope. So what do you do when there is no hope? If you have faith, even when there is no hope, you can still act. Faith is the pillar of action, not hope, because there are many times there is no hope. Mandela was in prison for years and there was no hope, but there was faith there. People hold on to their faith, not hope, when they are trying to survive and when they're trying to build a better world. Trying to build a better world is not about winning at the end. It is just an ongoing struggle, and we are part of a thousands-year-old struggle. So don't expect anything. Do what you're doing because you cannot do otherwise. Because your humanity, your humaneness cannot accommodate the ugly, the banal, or the evil. If people are not directed by the manufactured fears or propaganda, what they do in apocalyptic times is actually helping each other. And this is a good reason to have faith in humankind. And we saw this happening during coronavirus. People started helping each other as a reflex. People chose people in these apocalyptic times. We should choose attention over anger because anger is now a commodity. I'm talking about social media, where our politics is shaping today. Our anger is today sold and bought, but our attention cannot be commodified. So that is why we need full attention to what's happening in the world. And also, attention is dedication. It's a promise to the world and to ourselves. When anger is so popular, the lack of it looks a little bit strange, and the best example for this is Greta Thunberg, who actually for me symbolizes attention and the dedication to pay attention. Paying attention can cancel out manufactured distractions. Then we can really talk about what we can do next. We have to think about forgiveness, because all this manufactured hostility and polarization was not there before it was manufactured. Forgiveness is a very hard word to talk about because I myself have a lot to forgive, and I am trying to free myself of that grudge. I was a journalist in Turkey and I have been writing for 30 years, and that was all gone in a day, only in 30 seconds with a telephone call. As a person whose life has been sort of stolen by fascism, I still believe in people. What I learned through my journalism, through my writing, and in life is that dignity is the most important thing to people. Even when they do not have anything, everything changes when you touch that very humane core of the people. The word dignity is always linked to the word pain, but actually there is the joy of dignity. We saw it in BLM, we saw it in Tahrir, we saw it in Hong Kong, everywhere where people went onto the streets to ask for equality, justice, and a humane life. And that joy is coming from being whole. Nobody is whole unless there is dignity. If someone on the world is going through indignity, we cannot be dignified as the onlookers. George Floyd said, "I cannot breathe," when the police took a knee on his neck. We are almost like George Floyd now. We cannot breathe because of coronavirus, because of climate crisis, because of rising fascism, because of mobilized ignorance, we cannot breathe. And the only way to breathe again is to be together. Think friendship as a political connection. How can we build a political model on the pillars of friendship? Because friendship is an equal and just relation. Of course, it takes a lot of labor and a lot of commitment, because it's not easy to love humans, especially in today's world where we are represented with the worst of our kind constantly. Because this is the period, I think, we hate our kind most, comparing to the other periods in history. This is the first time we actually calculate the end times mathematically. And this pressures us so much, and we feel like we do not have the capacity to better ourselves. And this is the biggest damage of neoliberalism on humankind. So, can we believe in humanity, considering the history? And I do think that we have to have a different perspective on history, and the aspirations of humankind should be included in that history, because they are as real as the actions of humankind. So, the world is not as bad as it seems, because there is people in it like us. So we have to be together to be stronger. And we can do this. We can build a better world. We believe there can be a better world even when there is no hope. So we have to support each other. So please support Double Down News on Patreon. Join the future of journalism. Join Double Down News on Patreon.